Well, last time out we secured qualification for the Champions League knockout stages, and since then we've been dynamite, blasting our way through fixtures left, right and centre. Today that explosive thing continues with some TnT, Trabzon and Tottenham. Hello there everybody. Merhaba arkadaşlar. Welcome back to the channel. Tekrar hoş geldiniz. Episode 51 today of Breaking the Big Three. I'm your host, Dodgy Gamer, and quite a few things to go through today. We've got January transfers to catch up on. We've got matches to catch up on. We've got Trabzonspor in the Super League. That's our first game today. And then our opponents in the Champions League. Tottenham Hotspur of the English Premier League. That will be match number 2. So first, a lot of transfers to go through, and it's all outs. Better out than in, as they say. Again, as is usual, in January, we sent out a few more youngsters on loan. We did have a lot of bids coming in for our players, though it seems a kind of new level of success in Europe has turned a lot of eyes our way. Lots of bids for lots of players. Some we were able to keep, a couple we kind of got forced into a corner and had to let them go. First, the biggest departure of them all, Salah Özcan, has gone to Real Madrid. This is a very interesting one, because Salah Özcan was not a first-team regular for me. He was a good player. For us, he's a good squad player, but he was like in those two central midfield positions I usually operate with. He was like third or fourth in the pecking order. And he was actually speaking to me early in the transfer window about lack of game time. And then, of all clubs, Real Madrid swooped in with an offer for him. And in the end, I let him go. I mean, we have depth in that position. It was a good offer. Real Madrid agreed to arrange a friendly with us in the future, 50% of next sale, all that kind of stuff. So I think we got a good deal. And we let him go. Yeah, you can see here he only played 8 league games for us so far this season, so not a regular by any means. He only played 19 league games last season. We bought him for £3.5 million. We sold him for 7.75. Clauses and things are going to make that a lot more in the long run. And we're not going to turn down a player's chance to go off to Real Madrid. So thanks for that, Salah Özcan. And the other player to leave, Bertrand Banyak. Now, he's only actually been at the club for 6 months. We signed him 18 months ago, but immediately loaned him back to his club in France. He's been with us for 6 months. And this was a strange one. He came up to me saying, I hear Anderlecht are interested in me, and I want to go because they play in a better league. This is where it's a problem that the Turkish league reputation has been dropping steadily throughout this save. Despite the fact that my team is strong and we're doing well in Europe, the other Turkish teams just don't show up in Europe at all. Our coefficient keeps dropping, a league rep keeps dropping. So even though I think we are a better side than Anderlecht, and we have a better chance of being more successful in Europe than Anderlecht, for him, in his eyes, he sees Belgium's league and Anderlecht as being bigger. So he has to go. The reason I let him go, just to jump away from the transfers a bit, is because this youngster, Jakob Duman, has come on leaps and bounds this season. He's been out on loan. Last season, he was at Balıkesirspor, 1 division down. But now he's back. He's playing quite regularly. I was using him more against the weaker opponents in the league and using Banyak in the Champions League. But now I'm happy to have this guy as first choice. So if Banyak wants to go, he can go. Frees up a foreigner slot, and this guy is more than good enough in our right back position. So there weren't any other big departures. We did have a couple of other players that attracted a lot of interest, though. When I say a couple, I mean several. Özgür Ortaç from lots of other Turkish clubs, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Besiktas, they all made bids for him at some point or other. Hüseyin Güneş, again, the insane level of interest in this average squad player continues. Then my new fullbacks, Alparslan Kutlu and Ernstberger, there also lots of interest in them. Ernstberger, again, it was the Belgian teams who were coming in for him, but and AC Milan as well, that was right. AC Milan came in with an offer for him. But we managed to put them off by negotiating from a high price and then he was happy in the end to stay. Samet Kilic was also subject of intense interest from German clubs and Turkish clubs. Who else had bids come in? Mosameng again had bids coming in for him. Mustafa Salam. Now this is interesting. One of our youth players. Again, I take this as a good sign of his potential. That Arsenal and Liverpool had a bit of a bidding war for him. Luckily, though, I managed to get him to sign a new contract right in the middle of January, so that kind of cooled their interest off a bit. Gerrit Holtmann had a couple of Chinese clubs expressing interest in him. No formal bid actually came through in the end, but that was interesting to see. This is a kind of 28-year-old player. It's kind of fits the profile of what the Chinese Super League teams often go for. And also Gustafsson. We had bids for Gustafsson from, I think it was Dortmund. It was Dortmund from the Bundesliga, but he was happy to stay, so no big drama there. Matches then. So you see a nice long run of green, just broken up with the one yellow circle, which we'll get to. So we finished the last episode with a 3-1 win over Besiktas. So Champions League was sewn up. We had the final game against Sporting Lisbon. Look at this one. 7-0 we won to guarantee first place in the group. 7-0. It was an unbelievable match. We were just all over them. They did not show up. Jakob Duman, who I've just spoken about, he opened the scoring. It was 1-0 at half-time, and then in the second half, Hakan Gustafsson scored a hat-trick in 8 minutes. Between the 55th and 63rd minute, he got his hat-trick. Salah Özcan, now of Real Madrid, he bagged a brace in that game. Gerrit Holtmann with one as well. In the second half, we just scored with every highlight, basically. So that was a huge, huge win. We then, as I mentioned in the introduction, we drew Tottenham for the next round. It was one of those awkward ones where we finished first in our group, which is great because, then that makes you seeded for the draw. But then I looked at the teams who'd finished second, and it's teams like Barcelona had finished second in their group, and I think Chelsea and all those kind of teams had finished second in their group. But we got Tottenham. It could have been worse, could have been better. In the league, then, we've been on a hot streak. Since that Besiktas match, we've just won everything. So we've beaten Kasımpaşa. That was a 4-0 win there. Oscar, Tarık, and Gustafsson with the goals. Yeni Malatyaspor away. Göre and Bese with the goals on that day. We beat Sivasspor, Göre and Şengül that time, the two wingers getting the goals. Alanyaspor, this was one where I rotated a bit and I went with my attacking home formation, and I think that's why it ended up being 4-2 rather than 4-0, for example. It was Gustafsson, Oscar, Holtmann, and Pimenta with the goals there. Then Antalyaspor, similar thing. Again, we're experimenting with a more attacking lineup away from home. That was a 5-2 win this time. Mustafa Salam with a brace. Bese, Tarık Demir again, he gets up for the headers, that one, and Yavuz Özler with the goals. Osmanlıspor, now, we ground out a 1-0 win, you would think, but look at the stats there. 21 shots, 10 on target. They only managed a handful of shots in reply, but it was Göre with the single goal to get us a victory there. A win's a win, after all. Göztepe, no longer a bogey team, quite an easy 4-0 win here. Gökhan Gül with a rare goal, Göre with a brace, Gustafsson with one right at the death to wrap things up. And then in our most recent league match, Gazi Shahir, we beat them 3-0, very straightforward win. Samet Kilic, Gerrit Holtmann and Oscar with the goals coming there in the first half. We've also been playing in the Cup, so we played in a different Genclerbirligi, Darıca Genclerbirligi. They're not from Ankara, they're from another city, I forget where actually. Genclerbirligi, if you translate that from Turkish to English, it means like Youth United, so it's used by a few different teams in the country. They play in the second division in Turkey, very easy 6-0 win in the first leg, and then obviously played a lot of youngsters in the away leg. We got a 2-1 win, despite the fact that Van de Gen was sent off early in the match. Gaziantepspor of the first division, they've risen back up after being relegated early in the save. Bit of a blip that we drew the away leg 2-2. I didn't actually rotate a huge amount. I did have a lot of first teamers in here, but We just found it difficult to break them down. It was 2 penalties we needed to tie the game up at 2-2. We actually had a third penalty. Samed Kilic had a chance for a hat-trick from the spot with an injury time penalty, and he missed it. But no worries. When we played the return leg after the winter break, it was an easy 4-0 win. Tarek Jalen, backup striker with a brace. Oscar and Mosameng scoring the goals there, and we've just finished matches with Adana Demirspor, who are in the relegation zone of the Super League. We beat them 3-1 away and 5-0 at home. Again, resting a lot of players, so very, very straightforward wins there. Before we start the match, a quick update on the league table. So you see we're now in second place. We're level on points with Galatasaray. It's that victory Galatasaray hold over us from earlier in the season that's giving them the lead. Besiktas and Fenerbahce have slipped away a bit. Besiktas in particular, after we beat them, they went on a bit of a wobbly patch of form, so they're now 7 points back. But it makes it a bit more of an interesting title race. At least today, Galatasaray are playing at the same time as us. They are away to Sivasspor in 9th, so hopefully Sivasspor can do us a favour and we can take advantage. This is how I'm lining up today. So Utku's in goal, Savic and Ozgur in the centre of defence, Hussein and Ernstberger in the fullback positions, Omer Korkmaz back from his damaged spine, with Mosameng and Samed Kilic forming that triangle in the middle of the park. Holtman and Oscar on the wings, Gustafsson up front. Holtman's going over to his old inside forward role on the right as we rest Evren Şengül ahead of the Spurs game. Similar shape from Trabzonspor. They are doing okay this season. They're not setting the league on fire, but they're doing all right. So we've got to be prepared for a tough game. As I'm being asked here, both teams are coming in good form. Mosameng is the captain. Okay, good. Let's kick this off then. We're in our black away kit. It's not quite a sold-out crowd today. You'll see some empty seats there. We're told a good crowd was expected for this game. 31,000 coming in. We've just got a few months now left before we can enjoy our new stadium as Oscar launches a long one up to Gustafsson. Gustafsson's through, and we should have done much, much better with that chance. I am a little bit concerned about Gustafsson and Besse at the moment. Neither of them is in particularly great form. You'll have seen from the games that I recapped that they weren't appearing too much recently. It seems whichever one starts, they end up on a 6.3 or a 6.4 until I sub them in the second half, and then the other one maybe nicks a goal towards the end or something like that. So that's something to look out for. We definitely need at least one of those guys to be in goal-scoring form if we're going to do anything in Europe. And oh, dearie me, what happened there? Hussein's cross kind of, everybody let it go, and then Gustafsson scores. We take the lead. He makes up for the sitter he missed earlier. But yeah, that was very strange. I don't know if we're going to see that in the replay again. Yeah, there we go. It's like, I think everybody left it. The goalkeeper reacted a bit late, and then we took advantage of the panic and the confusion. Gustafsson just stayed onside, and we take a deserved lead, it has to be said. Trabzon with only the one chance so far. Just going to tell the team to concentrate in the final 15-minute stretch. As ever, I would hope they can protect this lead into the break. Trabzonspor corner, but we deal with it. Ozgur comes out, plays it to Gustafsson, knocks it out wide to Holtman. Holtman, don't know what that header was about there. But okay, Holtman picks it up again. He cuts inside, as he should do as an inside forward. Gets it to Oscar. Oh, another easy chance missed by Gustafsson there. If he just hit that either side of the keeper, that would have been a goal. But okay, half-time is here, and we are still in the lead. So I'm going to tell the team there's room for improvement. The goalkeeper looks delighted by this idea. I'm going to tell the rest of them, you've got what it takes. A lot more to come from you guys, and off we go again. It's a bit of a tricky one, this, because they're all big games now, and this is a big game. We need to win this to keep pace with Galatasaray, but we've got to have our mind on Tottenham as well. So, yeah, I've rested a few players like Evren Şengül, and I'm thinking I'm going to play them against Spurs. But, I couldn't rest everybody because then, we'd be putting ourselves in a difficult position in this game. And there we go, Gustafsson with his second goal of the game. Perfect time to score in this kind of match early in the second half. That's really giving Trabzonspor a big task to get back into this. I've just got to watch out for complacency now. So with that in mind, we'll tell the boys again to concentrate. Probably time to make a substitution. Now I've got to think here in terms of who's going to play on Wednesday night in London. So I am thinking we'll probably take Mosameng off. I want to take Omer Korkmaz off, actually, because, yeah, nursing him back to health after his injury. So I'm going to bring this youngster in who I signed last summer, Cevat Soyit. He can play that ball-winning midfielder role. He's only got 1.5-star current ability, but we'll bring him in for now, get him some match experience. Mustafa Salam I'm going to bring in as well. He's been in good form recently, but because he's more of an advanced playmaker kind of guy, I'm probably not going to use him against Tottenham, so I'll bring him on now. Are we going to get a third here? Mustafa Salam on the ball. Yep, the substitutes linking up nicely there. Hussein's going to whip a cross in. No. Trabzon doing a pretty good job of dealing with it. And they've got the chance for a quick break here. Ooh, nice shot that. Nice move by Trabzonspor. Quick counter-attacking play. It's almost like they're the away team instead of the home team. But nothing comes of it. I'm going to make a final substitution probably sometime after this highlight. Here's Samed. Oh, he gets dispossessed a little bit too easily there, I think. You've got to watch out now. If Trabzonspor... Never mind. I was going to say if they score here, then that puts the pressure on for the final stretch of the game, but that was quite a wayward shot. Okay, let's do our final substitution then. I'm going to take Gustafsson off. We might well play both Gustafsson and Besse. I do have a 4-4-2, the one that worked fairly well against Bayern Munich. We might use that, or we might use it with the shadow striker like we did before. I haven't fully decided yet. We'll decide that in the days ahead of the fixture. But here comes Mustafa Salam, knocks it out wide to Oscar, who gets his cross into Besse. Besse, though, he was always stretching for that one. Keeper deals with it quite easily, but it's going to be an easy win for us. I don't see Trabzonspor getting back into this one now. It's a bit too late. Savic with one off the bar. Whoa, so many Genclerbirligi players there. But they still couldn't get a shot in. Not one on target anyway. Okay, that's probably going to be the final action of the game. Here we go. After this corner, referee's going to blow the whistle. There we go. Very nice 2-0 win. Got to be happy with that away to Trabzonspor. Always a tough place to come. I'm going to tell the team that was a good win, boys. Well done. So we'll have a look at the league table. Very important. We've got to see what Galatasaray did in their game. So if we go over to the competitions. Oh, Galatasaray must have lost. They must have lost. Let's bring up the matches. Yes, Sivasspor did exactly what we wanted them to. They scored in a 2-1 win. So that is fantastic. That puts us 3 points clear. Great stuff, great stuff. That's going to give us a platform to build on as we run into the final 12 games of the season. Anyway, fade to black, and we'll be right back for a trip to the new White Hart Lane. Welcome back. Tekrar Geldiniz. Here we are for our big Champions League game. We are away to Tottenham, played on the same evening as Liverpool, Real Madrid. That's a match we've been talking about quite a bit recently. I just hope Liverpool have a different goalkeeper for this one. Oh, they've got Jack Butland. They'll be fine. Let's have a quick look at Tottenham, see what they're up to. They still have Pochettino as their manager, and they've still got the likes of Harry Kane in their squad. Alderweireld is in there as well. Okay, so I mean they've got a decent team. If we just look at the values, I mean you could add up like my entire team and you'd have the value of like 2 or 3 Tottenham players basically. They are currently 4th in the Premier League. I did see that they had a bit of a bad result last weekend. This came up in the press conference ahead of the match. Yeah, they lost 5-1 away to Manchester City in 2nd place, so we'll have to see. Are they going to be fragile after that, or will we have to deal with the inevitable reaction? Yes, I know, I'm in Football Manager press conference mode at the moment. Just going to have a quick look at their history, the competitions, anything they've done. They did actually win the Champions League 4 years ago. They were the 2020 winners. They haven't won the Premier League yet, although they have finished in the top 3 on a couple of occasions. They went on after winning the Champions League to win the Club World Cup. And no, nothing in the Europa League. They won the European Super Cup as well. They got the FA Cup. So they've done all right in the Cups. They're a bit of a cup team. They're in inconsistent form, we're in excellent form, but of course there's going to be that gap between our respective leagues. So this is how we're lining up. Utku in goal, Gökhan and Özgür in the centre of defence, Duman and Alparslan, two young Turkish fullbacks there. Mehmet and Gure are in wide midfield, Van de Gen and Samed in the centre of the park. Mosameng, I did go with him as a shadow striker in the end, and Gustafsson. On the bench, we've got options like Mustafa Salam, we've got Gerrit Altman, we've got Besse there, so we've got options here in case things start to go wrong. Actually, I'm going to make one last change. For some reason, Savic doesn't get quick pick these days, and bring Savic back in. Özgür and Gökhan are the first choice centre-back pairing, but Savic is more than adequate as a backup. Okay, so Spurs going with a 4-2-3-1 formation. What are we going to say in the dressing room? I think let's show everyone what we're capable of. That seems to have struck a chord. Here's something where I did something a bit stupid. I rested Evrençengel in the last game, didn't I? Thinking I'm keeping him fit for the Spurs game, forgetting that he got a suspension in the final Champions League group game because of yellow cards, so he wasn't available today anyway. Nice large stadium you have here, Tottenham, even if I do say so myself. Okay, here come Gure, but I think that's just going to be the opening highlight. Ooh, they're trying to rough us up early on, aren't they? Going to get in with an early concentrate there. Probably just as well as they had the corner, but we are on the counter-attack now. Mosameng plays in Samed. Samed knocks it out wide to Mehmet. Mehmet's going to whip across in here. And we can't get a shot off, but it comes back to us. Van de Gen to Samed, Gustafsson to Mosameng, and Mosameng with the early goal. Ooh, Mosameng looks like he enjoyed that one. So did I. Let's have a look at that again. So they cleared the cross. Alparslan in the perfect position. And then Samed with a cheeky little back heel comes to Mosameng. Nice, easy goal. I like the look of that. Yeah, this shadow striker formation is very good, it seems, so far. I don't want to jinx it. It's only the third time I've used it away from home in Europe, but it's been very good so far. But here comes Spurs. They got a chance. No, we pick the ball up, and it gets played out long, but Mosameng can't get on the end of that. Spurs coming forward again. Felix out to Sosa. Back to Torreira, out to Aurier. He's going to whip across in. Duman gets it away, but only to the edge of the box. And Torreira. That sounds like a video game my son plays. Anyway, Lucas Torreira with the equaliser. Just going to remind them to concentrate. I mean, 1-1 is still a good result. We've got the away goal. Yeah, no need to panic. Just because they've scored off the one shot they've had on target. And Van de Gen with a bit of a misplaced pass there, and Tottenham are going to come forward again. Okay, Hall has the ball, plays it into Sosa. Dele's got it, and they've taken the lead. It's Harry Kane. Harry Kane doing what he does best with a header from the edge of the 6-yard box. Mosameng did score the goal, but I might look into going 4-4-2 and bringing Besse on. Because obviously we're not creating enough. Show me something else in the second half. That's got them fired up. Okay, here comes Spurs again, but they've lost the ball. Van de Gen with a quick clearance up to Gustafsson. Come on, Gustafsson, you got men in the middle, you got men with you. He plays it into Mosameng, and Mosameng again with another early goal. Fantastic break there. That was absolutely picture-perfect counter-attack, and we have levelled the tie 2-2. Yeah, Gustafsson did brilliantly to beat his man there. Mosameng makes the run in the middle. That's what he's there for. Concentrate again, and we'll look to make a sub soon. Just a matter of who's it going to be. But here we go, we got a corner. Samed knocks it into Gustafsson, and the keeper tips it over. It's going to be another corner for us. This time from the other side, Mosameng takes it. Kane is back defending. And we've got a quick break from Tottenham Hotspur. Marcelo, but nobody's there in the middle, so he had to dawdle, and we deal with it. All right, let's have a look. Mosameng's on a yellow, but he's playing better than anybody else on the pitch, so we don't want to take him off at the moment. I might take Samed Kilic off. In fact, that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take off Samed Kilic. Mustafa Salam, we're going to swap over the roles with him and Mosameng. And we're going to bring on Holtman, I think, as well. Gore's not having a great game. Holtman, he's got that big match experience, one of our most experienced players. Let's get him on there. Quick reminder to everybody to concentrate. Here we go, free kick for us, dangerous position. But Tottenham deal with it, do they? Here comes Durman, Mosameng, Osgur, out to Holtman. Holtman's going to whip the cross into Gustafsson. Yes, get in. Get in, we're 3-2 up. Yes, that half-time team talk did the trick, I think. So Duman knocks it out. Mosameng is involved again. Holtman, this is why we brought Holtman on. He knows how to drill in a low cross. 3-2. Fantastic. Come on, clear this one. Mustafa Salam, yes, you did it. Okay, Gustafsson, we got the break now. Salam knocks it out wide to Alpaslan. He plays a Mosameng. Mosameng, what can he do? Gets it to Gustafsson, but the shot's blocked. That might have even bounced off our own player. And now it's Tottenham coming forward. Rog has the ball. He's making a run out wide. He gets the cross in far too easily, but Kane heads over. It was offside anyway. Whew. Okay, we've got one more sub. Are we going to make it now? Are we going to save it for a bit later? I want to take Mosameng off, but it's a bit risky, isn't it? Okay, we're going to take him off. I'm going to put Korkmaz on. Now we're going to do a few tactical changes with that. So Korkmaz, I want you and Van de Gen to drop a bit deeper. So what are we going to do with you? You're going to be a deep line playmaker on defend. Van de Gen, central midfielder support. All right. Excuse me while I just click through these. Fullbacks, defend, defend. We don't want to drop too deep. We're going to play a bit narrower now. Drop the tempo nice and low. And avoid that offside trap. Be a bit more disciplined. Okay. We're close to a famous victory here. We've hardly won away from home in Europe, especially, if we don't count the qualifying rounds. Okay, concentrate, boys, concentrate. Ooh, Spurs. Oh, whoa, that's cruel, that's cruel. There was no build-up to that free kick. They just cut to the free kick. Boom, goal. There you go. That's cruel. 4 minutes of stoppage time. What's going to happen here? I can't give another shout. This has got to be the final highlight, and indeed it is. Well, a 3-3 draw. You've got to be happy with that. I mean, perhaps we should have won. Perhaps we should have won, but at the end of the day, that puts us in a great position to wrap this up in the second leg, which is going to be in the next episode. So yeah, I'm going to play through these next few matches off camera, and then we're going to have Fenerbahce and Tottenham. That's going to be our next episode. So make sure you join me for that. If you enjoyed that end-to-end European game, well, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about that episode. I'm Dodgy Gamer. See you again soon.